What is up, ladies and germs? It is Josh Courage of Courage Performance and Living with Courage coming at you on a little post-breakfast walk. I wanted to talk to you about getting the biggest bang for your buck and what that means. What that means in terms of nutrition, what that means in terms of fitness, what that means in terms of relationships and life in general. And just a thought to throw out there about basically finding the things that have, let's talk about food, because I was just cooking food and thinking about food, and I've been doing some interesting stuff with food, and we'll share the idea of thinking about the foods with the most nutrients in them and trying to fill your diet with only that. It's relatively logical, relatively backed by a good amount of experts and science. The idea that if you take the most nutrient-dense foods you can possibly find and consume that heavily, you'll probably absorb the most amount of nutrients, unless you have obviously specific issues with specific types of food. But, so like, a French fry doesn't have too many nutrients in it. Obviously almost every single food you consume has nutrients in it, but when you sort of level out the foods with the most nutrients compared to the foods with the least nutrients and try to eliminate all those foods with the least amount of nutrients, because basically they're just empty and wasted calories in your system and kind of crummy sources of fuel in general for the things you might want in life, like living a happy, healthy life, getting big and strong, getting fast, living a long time, so on and so forth. So I'm not going to go into right yet the what I view as the foods with the most nutrients in them, the most nutrient-dense foods. I'll let you guys think about that. If you want to throw out some of your ideas of what those actually are, feel free. And if you want to look it up, feel free to look it up as well. But the main thing is, if you want the most out of the fuel and the foods that you put into your system, you're going to want the most nutrients you can possibly get. Now let's think about that from all different angles, when it comes to the people in your life, the people that fill you up the most. It doesn't necessarily mean the people that you agree with all the time. You could have some people, I have a couple friends who I should disagree with all the time, but we end up having really, really awesome, good, positive conversation on a regular basis because we have this back and forth and these discussions, and you end up walking away thinking and expanding your mind a little bit, learning new angles, and it's really cool. So it's the same sort of concept there, which I think is really important. Think about it in terms of fitness, right? Do you spend 3 hours in the gym kind of just hitting everything, looking at your phone, moving through stuff, not really focusing? Or do you find a small collection of movements that are going to affect you dramatically and positively and really put all of your attention and focus into those? The fact of the matter is, the movements that are going to have the greatest effect on your body and your intention into those movements are probably going to leave you with the best results over the course of some time. And that's what it means to have sort of the biggest bang for your buck. If you fill your life with all of those things, those people that fill you up the most, the food that fuels you the best and gives you the most possible nutrients to function at the top of your ability, the exercises and activities that fulfill you and completely push you towards your goals. Think about it in terms of every possible thing in your life, your surroundings. Currently, I'm getting to walk around stuff like this. That makes me feel pretty good. The things you have a whole bunch of odds and ends in your house that don't really mean very much. Why don't you have or surround yourself by the things that mean the most to you, that you get the most fulfillment from, that you get the most satisfaction from, and get rid of the rest, the stuff that doesn't really mean very much to you, that you hold on to for petty reasons or simple reasons, and those things just take up space in your mind, in your surroundings. It might just be a waste. I'm sure with this mindset you probably think of a lot of other things as well. And that's kind of the point. I want you to think. I want you to process all that information and come to some conclusions on your own. So right now, my main focus with that is food. And well, that's my main focus, but I'm always focusing on all sorts of different things: life, work, relationships, so on and so forth. So that's what it's all about, man. Ridding yourself of all those little things that don't actually serve any purpose in your life, and keeping the things that are the biggest bang for your buck. That's probably going to be the best for you. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully it makes you think a little bit. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you disagree, if you agree, feel free to comment. I'm always down for that sort of thing. I'm always down for a little discussion. And I hope everyone has a good day. Peace out.